Hey, Siddhant, I'm super excited to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm super excited to see you too. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good too.
Absolutely, doing great. So wonderful to be talking to you. And I just wanted to let you know that also everybody else know that we have been really trying to connect with you for so long because the story is special and also we wanted to give it a special treatment. We're launching another vertical of Saikana, which is called Samvaad. It's the conversation series. And then, so I'm sure we'll get to your story in a while, but I want to begin by asking what's keeping you busy these days?
The past 1 year or so, it hasn't been really good for people like me who are in the events fair. So my job has been, my company has been kind enough to keep me in their in their loop, and they have shifted me to another department, which does not really, kind of like is not really my main domain of work. But yeah, it's kind of like a learning curve, and I'm like trying to do the best. So that's kind of like also keeping me busy. But yeah, nonetheless, I do not really have much work to do as of now.
Okay, that's good to know. And the reason why I asked this is because we are kind of hitting a side of the spectrum similar to the last year. Not exactly that stage, and hopefully will not get there. And then we want to hear your perspective. A little different from what's already there in the public eye, which is you made a T-shirt travel across the world, and you called it Project Hope. I want to ask you, where did the thought arise from? And how did you continue with the thought that a piece of cloth could become the beacon of hope for so many people?
It started off during the lockdown itself. As I told you, my job became redundant, and I was kind of like, told they were polite enough to let me stay in the company to stay on the payroll. But yeah, they were like, we won't be paying you any salaries till the time we do not think that it's going to be safe for us to do so, because our company is kind of like really dependent on events, and events were not happening for like the day I was told that I was kind of like sent on and being sent on an unpaid leave. That's what that was all that was going on in my brain for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like that was all that I was thinking about. It just clicked. It just like went. Everything just shut all of a sudden. I think it was mid of June. I don't exactly remember the date. I don't exactly remember the time, but yeah, it was like late in the night. I was like sitting in my room. It was like dark. I was kind of like scrolling through Instagram, and it just went off suddenly. I don't know what happened, and I just felt like I could not like really breathe at all. It did not really happen with me ever before, and I was scared. I was scared as shit. I did not know what was happening. I did not know what to do. The next thing that I did was, I picked up my water bottle and I went upstairs, to the terrace of my home. And I sat there for good 5-6 hours. I realized that the sun was rising again, and I was just sitting there. I, I don't remember what I was even thinking about. I don't remember what I was doing upstairs. I was just there. I was just there and just in my thoughts. It was bad. It was really bad, and it was the same for the next 15-20 days. I did not really do anything at all. I slept for like 16-18 hours a day in a row for 15 days, and it was like really bad. um, my parents were getting worried. My sister was getting worried. I did not really tell them what was going on. I told them that I just kind of like lost my job, but I did not really tell them what I was going through. So it was kind of like early in the month of July that I realized that this is not going to work, and I need to do something about it. And that's when music came to my rescue. I picked up that habit of listening to music during that phase itself, and that helped me the most probably. Music kept me in my senses. It brought back to me. It brought me back to my senses actually. It made me realize that it's not going to work the way it's working right now, and I started feeling better. And one day I just felt normal. and it was great to feel normal again. It was so good. It was, it was actually really good to feel normal, to to just stand properly and to talk to someone normally. It felt so amazing that, I was kind of like getting my moho back, and that just happened one day, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, okay, what happened, that happened, and I need to like kind of like get over it. It's not. I think that was a moment that I actually forgave myself for losing my job, which wasn't really my fault at the first place. So I literally was the happiest person for a week straight. Then I was like, okay, I got over that phase, and I'm feeling really good about it now. After a week or so, I was just kind of like sitting in my room, and I was like, there was this T-shirt right in front of me on a chair, and I was just staring at it for no reason. I was like, something else was going on in my brain, and I was just looking that way, and just happened to click. Can I send this T-shirt on a world tour? Like, it was so instant. It was so in the moment.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. Like, I did not really had any thought process behind it. It was just an idea that came out of nowhere. Like, can I send this T-shirt on a world tour? And it felt so absurd. It felt so amusingly funny, and it felt so awkward. The idea itself, that I was almost pretty sure that I'm not going to do it. Obviously, it does not really make any sense at all. What am I even thinking about? Come on, be serious. That's not going to help anyone. But the more I thought about it, the more I tried to connect everything. The more I tried to build a story behind it, the more it made sense.
Yeah.
Because then I like kind of like rewinded the clock. Then I kind of like started recalling all the conversations that I had with my friends, with my colleagues, about what they're going through, and all of them were like, अगर मैं travel कर सकता तो I would have felt really good. When I included that element in my project, that I need to make this T-shirt travel, and this T-shirt can actually represent each and every one
Yeah.
on this entire planet.
Yeah.
Either they are going through something of the same sort that I went through, or they wanted to travel. There is no other way around it. It has to be one of the two things. So it made so much sense. It made so much sense, but I could not really frame it. How I'm gonna I did not really know what I'm gonna call it. That's when my elder sister came into the entire equation. I told her the idea. She found it to be really interesting but very amusing at the same time. She was not really sure about it, and that was, she was being very honest about it,
Yeah.
the way she felt about it. But yeah, she also gave me the idea to, she actually gave the T-shirt the name. She was just like, can we call it hope, because that's what it means. That's what it means for you. That's what it's going to mean for a lot of people, and that's essentially the crux of the project. So can you?
Yes, what you created with hope, it traveled, and how so many people resonated with, and that story is already out. I think you also connected with influencers in different parts, asked them to wear
Yeah.
the T-shirt and then click pictures, make
Yeah.
videos, etc. So it's like the world getting together.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to ask you. Uncertainty, a low phase in life, although these are very highly negative words and these could have a bad impact. You're a millennial. How old are you? 24, 25?
I'm 24 years old right now.
Okay, you're 24.
Yeah.
And, India as a nation, we have started to talk about mental health so much. Although there's a lot of stigma still around it, it's not a part of the school curriculum. It's not something that's taught to us. And in a time which is already very low, and nobody around to look for in a more hopeful state, or somebody you can look at and say, oh, okay, I'll get there. How do you, as somebody who's very, very young, understand and be accepting of the fact that my mental state is not good, and I want to do something about it? Tell this from a perspective of parents or folks who are older and do not understand the gravity of it, the younger ones who probably understand but shy away from accepting it, and your journey or your story could help them.
So I'm not sure about everyone who is from the same generation as I am, but I was very accepting of the fact that something is wrong with me, and I was. Um, so I told you about the night when I went upstairs, and I was sitting there for some good 5 6 hours. The next day, I called a friend of mine. I told them what I felt and uh, what exactly I told them exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I told them that I was having an issue with breathing, and I told them that I do not know what I was thinking about for that amount of time. They told me that it sounds like an anxiety attack, but they were not really sure if it actually was an anxiety attack. So I just the very next moment, the moment I disconnected the call, I kind of like started searching on the web that what it feels like to have an anxiety attack for the first time, and you know, it became very clear that it was definitely that. It became very clear that I I grew up listening to stories of people having anxiety attacks, people having issues with the way they think about things. With I have always been very open to talk about such stuff, but that was a very first time in my life that it happened with me. That something of that's what happened with me. So automatically I was really accepting about that. Um, I was really kind of relieved that I actually know what was going on, because for me the worst situation to be in is to not know what was happening, is to not know what is happening. That's the worst feeling for me as a person. I always need to know what is happening around me. I always need to know what is happening with me. So not knowing what is wrong is worse for me than knowing what is wrong. So, but yeah, I would not necessarily say that I come from a family which wouldn't have accepted this fact, or which wouldn't have understood the kind or the gravity of the situation. Uh, but that was my mistake that I did not really talk to them, because I'm pretty sure that my parents are not someone who won't understand. Because at the end of the day, they read all the articles that were published about this project. They read about me, because I have been talking to so many media outlets lately. They read each and every article. They even read the newspaper, which was kind of like which had the entire story covered on the entire page. They read the entire thing word by word, and till that moment, I did not really talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And that was the moment when I thought about it, and I felt really bad that I could have really asked them for help. I i did not really need to go um, to anyone else. I could have talked to my parents about it. My parents were accepting, and I'm not sure about other people's parents, but my parents were accepting enough to understand something of that sort. But I did not really do that. That was my mistake. That wasn't their mistake. So I think that's one part of the entire equation that a lot of people don't talk about, that it's not only about the people who are around you, if they are accepting or not. It's also about yourself, if you are accepting about it or not. If you are able to tell anyone what you're going through. So I think to each and everyone that has been going through something of the similar kind, you just need to be strong enough to actually accept it, and you need to be strong enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
Help will come your way. It's not going to be a situation where you're not going to get help. It's not going to be a situation where no one is going to listen you. There are a lot of things that can go right. There are a lot of people, there are a lot of ways you can get help, but you need to seek help. That's the things. That's the one thing that I think everyone should be taught in school, in colleges, wherever, by parents to their kids, by kids to their parents. And there should be a more open dialogue about accepting it, that you are going through something of something bad. Be um, open to the idea that the person you are sitting next to might also be going through something bad, and it's not necessarily कि वो they're shouting कि हाँ I'm going through this, I'm going through this. हो सका तो आप decode करो, but yeah, we all need to educate one another to have a very open dialogue about it. Help is gonna come your way, help is gonna come your way, उसकी कोई problem नहीं है. अब वो parents help करें, friends help करें, टीचर हेल्प करे, चाहे ऑनलाइन फोरम हेल्प करे, चाहे कोई हॉटलाइन हेल्प करे, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. You just need to ask for it.
Absolutely. I think if we just stay cognitive of the fact and people around us and be more accepting, I'm sure
Yep.
we find a lot of solidarity
Yeah.
in people, and likewise. Thank you for sharing your story. On the other more aspiring note, I want to ask, have your dreams evolved, especially since the last year? And some, give us an example of one or two things that you dream of doing or becoming in the next set of years, and these could be small ones or big ones.
uh, I you know I just want to be happy, to be honest. After what I've went through, I just want to be happy. If that's gonna mean to earn a lot of money, I'm gonna do that. If that's gonna mean to travel the world, I'm gonna do that. If that's gonna mean to take care of my parents, I'll do that. Whatever it takes me to be happy, I'm gonna do that. That's the end. That's the bottom line for me. I always had aspirations of becoming an event manager. I always had aspirations to earn a lot of money and to do this, to do that, to go there, to eat this, to eat that. But now I just want to be happy. I just want to be thankful for what I have, and you know, I'm just gonna do whatever comes my way, if that is needed to make me happy. That's it. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna think if I'm good at them or not.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very different from what I used to do. I always wanted to be like really good at a lot of things, but now I just want to be happy while I'm doing those things.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
So glad the times got you to believe in a better version of you. And thank
Yeah.
you for calling that out. When you say something like, I am going to focus on my happiness, at one hand, you're also saying that I'm not looking for a particular set of numbers or figures or definitions to define me. I'm going to be on an exploratory path, but I'm going to continue the focus on me and my happiness. So that's just very, very inspiring. So thank you for sharing your story. And just as a last question, I know you have already defined hope a certain way through your project. But apart from that, if I was asked, if I were supposed to be asking you, what does hope mean to you? What is it synonymous to? Metaphorically, literally, however you want to answer it. What does hope stand for you?
I just think trying means hope for me. If you are going through a bad patch, if you're going through a bad phase, just try. Um, I don't know if it's gonna work for you. I don't know if music is gonna work for you. I don't know if playing badminton or squash is gonna work for you. I don't know if sending a T-shirt on a world tour is gonna help for you. But just try. Try your hands at everything that comes your way. Try your hands at everything that you want to do, and that's probably the definition of hope for me. Being in the moment and being as um, you know just 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 do it, whatever you have in your mind. Seriously, just keep on trying. चाहे वो फिर कोई एग्जाम हो जो आप देना चाह रहे हो, चाहे फिर it's finding love of your life, चाहे it's earning a lot of money, चाहे it's an idea that you have in your mind. It's all hit and try. Till the time you are not gonna try it, you're not gonna find it, and that's why I think trying is the best version of hope.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your significant story and sharing such important words that you believe in that are synonymous to you. And that's what truly makes a good Samvaad. And we are so glad that we could kickstart this with you. Wish you a lot of happiness. May you always be surrounded with it, and may you continue to find newer definitions in what you do and continue to share it with the world for more of us to stay connected and find our true calling. Thank you,
Right.
Siddhant.
Thank you so much, Samvaad, for being such a great host. And I do not really, I would not necessarily call myself as someone who gets comfortable with a lot of people, who gets comfortable while talking to someone. But yeah, this conversation was, it was kind of like I was talking to my own thought process, and काफी relieving tha, it's kind of like very good to talk about stuff that is in my brain. It's thank you for this interview. This means a lot, and I had a great conversation. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye bye.